Intelligence. What is it? There are many factors that can make someone intelligent indeed, but how do you define it? Well, according to Google, intelligence is being eager to learn and knowing a lot, but I'm also going to consider Beyblade strategy and how wise they are in the anime. So let's see who are the smartest and least smart bladers in my opinion. Please don't take this too seriously. If there's something you disagree with, let me know in the comments. I would like to hear your opinion as well. Anyway, let's get started. First, we have the idiot tier with only 2 members. The first one we have is Volt Aoi. I mean, come on guys, Volt is like the class clown idiot. He's like the guy you think of when you think of a dumb blader, you think of Volt. He's needed so much help from friends, and even his little brother and sister who are like 3 years younger than him kind of know more than he does. He's an idiot. I think we all know that. He definitely gets smarter in the newer seasons, but he's still not the brightest. So yeah, that's Volt. And then we also have Hyuga Hisashi is the last spot in the idiot tier. Come on guys, he's Hyuga. He is probably dumber than Volt. He hasn't learned anything. He doesn't strategize at all. He just thinks he'll win every battle with just pure attacking. You know, it's always Hikaru, like, you know, Hikaru has to really watch him because he's just dumb, Hyuga. I don't really think I have the same word. We all know it. Let's go on to the next tier. The dummy tier. These are the dummies of the show. First up, we got Rantaro Kiyama. Now this guy's definitely smarter than Volt, I'll give him that. But he's so cocky for a blader that's so bad, you know? He just doesn't seem smart. He seems, I mean, just listen to him. I don't really know, man. He's just here. He just gives me that dumb guy vibe. Okay, next we have Zack. Now this guy's an idiot. When he's the masked blader, he thinks he's a good disguise. Like, he doesn't even change his voice at all, and he thinks that's a good disguise. There's another thing for why Volt's dumb. But yeah, Zack, being the guy behind the mask, you think he would put his disguise a little better. Like, man, this guy's so dumb. Next we have Cleo. This guy literally thinks he's a vampire. We all know he's not. I mean, I guess everyone else in the show does, so maybe they should all be in this tier. But he thinks he's a vampire. He's a horrible blader. He's a one-trick pony blader. All he can do is go for a stamina survivor finish. And he can't even tell. He doesn't even notice that Kuza is terrified of him. So yeah, that's really all I gotta say about Cleo. Next is Joshua Burns. Why did I put him here? Well, one, he has a fishing hook hairstyle. That's not very, it's not very smart to have that hairstyle, I would say. 2, he gets way too cocky and doesn't think about the battle. Like, when he battled Free, he just got so cocky and cost himself the match. So that was not smart. And that's really all I gotta say about Josh, besides just his personality and being kind of a creepy Free fan. I guess that's not really dumb, but I'm just gonna point it out anyway. Next we have Ranjiro. So you're probably wondering why I put Ranjiro on the list, besides the fact that he has a ridiculous hairstyle. Well, 1, you know, he's not a very good blader. I don't know why I'm adding that in, but he doesn't really strategize too well, usually. But 2, really the main reason I was going to do is because when Iger kind of went through his evil phase, he was one of the only bladers that was just so oblivious to it, and he calls himself Iger's best friend. Now we got Hyde. See, we're getting a lot more in this tier. There's a lot of dummies out there. That's the tier I'm in, right? So Hyde, he just, you know, look at him, listen to him. He sounds just dumb, and he trusted Evil. That was not smart. He has a pretty weak team. You know, he could have had anyone on his team. Yeah, that's really all I have to say for Hyde. Now we have Fumiya. For guys' classes, this guy is not too smart. Why I put him here is because, well, he's very cocky. You know, he thinks he's strong, but he's probably like one of, if not the weakest players in GT. Like Josh, he assumed he was going to win, so he kind of just tanked the battle because he got just so cocky, and then he lost. And I don't know, man. I think he's just dumb. I think most of you guys in the comments will agree with that. Let's see about that. Next, we have Gumita and also Tobisuke. For following every order Ranjaro gives and having no independence, plus they seem pretty dumb to me. Now we have Dante. We're almost done with the dummies tier. So Dante, I know probably you guys would think, why is he not in the bottom tier? He's kind of an idiot. Like, especially in like DB, he was kind of like the idiot. I mean, not DB, Quad Strike. But yeah, Dante, he gets lost a lot. He kind of just, he's just kind of a dumb guy. But in the manga, he's actually a little smart. He built a PC on his own, so that's why I put him here. Really just because he's kind of smart in the manga. So it kind of like fuses together anime plus manga equals Dante. And lastly, for the dummies tier, we have Arthur Peregrine. This guy, he thought he could take over Beyblade. What the heck? How was he going to take it over? Like, what? I just do not get that. Arthur is stupid. Arthur's dumb. Man, how did he think that? And plus, he's a grown adult. Oh, wait, no. No, he's not. Well, still, what? Why did an 11-year-old think he would be able to take over Beyblade? That's just stupid, man. Now we are at the dull tier. First up, we got my boy Xander. Strong as heck, but not the brightest. He even said it himself one time. I wish I could find the clip, but he said it. He said he's not smart. Yeah, but he is pretty wise. But, he just kind of likes to eat and work out, and that's pretty much it. He doesn't really seem like he knows too much about school and stuff, and doesn't seem like he cares. But that's cool. At least he works out, right? And he's a good leader. Next, we have Iger. He's not... I don't know why I really put him here. He's not that dumb. He just gives me the dumb protagonist vibes. He does have a bit of anger issues, which, that's kind of... I wouldn't really say a smart person would be calm and collected, so maybe that's why. I feel like he's done some dumb things. I just can't remember. Anyway, let's just move on. Yugo Nansui, one of my favorite characters, as you know. He's awesome, but he is not smart at all. Really, at least that's what I see from him. He's a horrible weak blader. He doesn't strategize. He did. He had a thing where he predicted bladers' moves, but it didn't really work. He's not really good at keeping calm. I mean, he got better, I guess, throughout the few episodes he was in, but just really, who would say Yugo is smart? I wouldn't. Tell me if you guys disagree. Next, we have Heijino. He is a huge, giant, muscly guy. He was doing great in archery. He had it all, but he decided to go to Japan and try Beyblading and get eliminated he was the first one to get eliminated. I hope his archery tournament is still going on. Now we have Xavier, another one of my favorite bladers. Fact, guys. Well, he's just a prince guy. He doesn't even go to school or anything. And he doesn't really seem to care to. Also, when Iger was evil, he was one of the only players who didn't really notice. He didn't notice it. He's just stupid. Now, this one's gonna be controversial, guys. It's Luishiro Sagi. I mean, he works hard, he trains hard, but he just doesn't seem smart. He seems dull, like the tier that he's in. But tell me if you guys think differently. I guess I don't really have a reason. I'm trying to think. Is there a reason I put Louis here? Not really. I just don't see him as smart. Maybe I should have put him in the below average tier. Next we have Jin. This guy, he just knows about ghosts. He doesn't know about anything else. He's either talking to spirits or sleeping all the time. I'm pretty sure he's got to be pretty dumb for that. Next, we're almost done with the dull tier. Next we have Joe LaJour. Dedicating his life to gambling. That is not a smart decision. Relying on luck. We know luck doesn't really exist. At least I don't think that. But Joe does. So good for him, but I don't believe in it. He just, he seems like his whole life revolves around gambling, which is kind of sad. And not very smart. And lastly, we have Phenomenal Pain. This guy, he has a pure hatred for Rashad Goodman. his emotions definitely get in the way of everything else. He thinks that because Rashad said that his battle was boring, that was the worst insult in the world when it was not that bad. That's not that smart, really. Alright, you made it to the below average tier. Get ready, this is another long one. We got Silas over here on the below average tier. You know, he's cocky, he's smug, he's a little bit of a good strategist, but he does kind of get mad a lot. He thinks he can beat Free, and the dumbest thing he done, he created Satoon. Alright, next we got Ranzo. I couldn't put a Kiyama too high now. He's still below average. You know, he just, I guess he doesn't really do anything that dumb. But, you know, he hangs out with Belle, who's, like, mean to him all the time, so that's not very smart. Next is Hoji, the most average-looking guy on the planet. He's not very smart. He doesn't really strategize too well. He doesn't know a lot. He doesn't seem to know a lot. He's kind of just there. He's just fine with his life. He doesn't care to become better or anything. That's why, pretty much. Then we got Akira. Being a fan of Zack is not very smart. But then again, it's not very dumb either. Just kind of the middle, I don't know. It's Akira, but he can't rap very well, and he thinks he can. So, minus points. Next we got Gotham. He has an emotionally motivated hatred for Silas, as we know. He kickboxes, and that's pretty much all we really know about him. So, I mean, he's kind of just below average. I doubt he's the type to do really good in school. But I doubt he's the type to do too bad. He seems like a C type of guy. Next we got Kit Lopez. This guy was the type of guy to goof off with Vault, but he was younger and usually more sensible anyway. So that's pretty much why I'm putting him here. Now we got LeBron. This guy's not dumb, but he was probably like raised by animals. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt if he was raised by animals, because he seems pretty smart for a guy who was raised by animals, but he was still raised by animals, so he's clearly not that smart. But he can tell fortunes and talk to animals apparently, but he could be making that up too. Which I guess is smart because he convinces everyone. Now we got Ichika. I put her here because, well, one, she is on the victories instead of the OP Sparkwings. That's kind of a joke. But two, she's not motivated to blade. She doesn't want to learn. She clearly does not want to blade. I don't know. Guess that doesn't make her dumb. I just put her here because I didn't know where to put her. Now we got Loden Hajime, the awesome guy, my original profile picture. This guy, he's very aggressive. He clearly doesn't care about getting sued. Like if he just got sued for punching a wall or something, he wouldn't think about that. So that makes him not very smart. Next we have Count Knight. He steals. You have to be pretty sneaky to be able to steal, but it's not the smartest life decision, so that's why I put him here. Now we got Boa. Boa, well, working for Theodore, or Ashram as you call him, isn't the smartest. But he doesn't seem dumb, so I just put him here. Norman, pretty much the same as Boa. And then lastly for this tier, we have Ange. She can cook, but she thinks Joshua's cute. Now we're in the good old, boring old average tier. These are the players that aren't really smart, but they're not really dumb. They're just kind of average. So first up, we got Quan Lemon. He wanted to travel the world. He wanted to find new things. He skateboards. So yeah, I don't really know. We got and he's a good leader, but he doesn't really seem that smart, so... But he's not dumb, so he's average, obviously. Alright, next we got Wakia Morisaki. A good strategist, but definitely sometimes let his emotions get in the way. And is overly cocky and did not work with his team very well in Season 1. And in the newer seasons, he kind of has weird roles, not really smart. But like I said, average. And then we got Nika Aoi. Definitely smarter than Volt, smart for a little kid, but I feel like when she got older, she just doesn't seem to be smart, but she's not dumb, so she's just average. Now we have Gabe Brunei. He works hard, he's very strong, but he just doesn't seem. I mean, he seems pretty average. He's just an average guy, gets average grades, averagely smart. All right, let's go on to the next one. And the next one in the average tier, this one might shock you, might not. It is Kuza. Some might say Kuza seems dumb, but I think he's actually pretty smart. He's very talented. He can draw well. He has a balance type. You have to be smart to control those. And he goofs around, but I still would say he's pretty smart. But not too smart, just average. Then next we got Sasha, a very averagely smart girl. She's average. Nothing else to say about that. Then we are going to Fubuki. Fubuki, he's average. He thinks he thinks he knows a lot, but he's not like cocky or anything. So he's just average. I don't really have much to say about the averages. Then next we got Delta. He had his little evil arc, but I think after that he was not too dumb. And then we got Peng. You gotta be pretty smart to do pranks. And again, he's like Kuza. He likes to have fun, but he's not dumb. Next we have Blintavoy. He's very creative. He has creative Beyblade strategies. He has creative art, but he's just kind of weird. I don't know. He seems pretty average to me. Maybe he's above average. I don't know. But then, next we have Little Miss Hannah. Hannah is pretty smart because she's only a kid and seems to be smarter than most of the guys she's with. But yeah, she's not really like outgoingly smart. She's just Hannah. And then we got Rashad. He's pretty average, he's like a teenager and he has a rivalry with like a 10-year-old, And then we got, I don't know, man. I don't know that big story. And then the last one, I guess, I'm questioning how I did this. I'm questioning why I put some of these bladers lower than some other bladers. But then lastly, we got Quadra, one of the newest bladers, or Pre. She seems smart, but really it's just Pax doing everything while she just kind of does it. She works hard, she tries her best, but she's not the smartest. She's just average. Alright, next we are in the above average tier. Now this is their bladers. They're a little smarter than average, but they're not outgoingly smart or anything. They're just above average. Alright, so first we got Toko Aoi. I put Toko ahead of Nika because, well, when he was a kid, he was more of the tech guy. He was the one who always had the tablet and like showing vault information. And as he's older, he still seems to be smarter. Not very confident, but he knows a lot. He actually chose to blade, so that's good. Then we got Orochi. Perfect pitch hearing. He can predict what's gonna happen in battles. Pretty wise. He used like music references in his speech. You gotta be pretty smart to think ahead to do that. Alright, then we got Trad. If you guys don't know who Trad is, he's from Beyblade Burst God. He was like Chris's manager. He was very uptight and strict, you could say. But yeah, I think that this is a good tier for him. He's not a genius, but he's a little smart. Okay, now we got Renwu Sun. By the way, guys, the order is not the dumbest to the smartest. The order is just kind of random in their tiers. So we got Renwu. He can kind of predict what bladers do and stuff. Pretty smart. He's very calm. He can like meditate and stuff. But yeah, he's not a good blader, so he might need to work on that. But he's still pretty smart. Now we got Fi, the evil villain himself. You could just tell by his calm demeanor and like how he talks, and like in the manga he can like play piano and stuff. So that's pretty dang smart. Alright. Next, these few might surprise you guys. We got Armin. Armin, the sidekick of Dante. He's probably the smartest sidekick, I would definitely say. He kind of he knows stuff. I don't know what else to say about him. I think we just know he just seems pretty smart. And then we got his little brother not falling behind is Taka. This might be surprise you, but he's a lot like Toko. He knows how to control videos and stuff. And how old is he? 9? 8? I guess kids nowadays just know how to use that stuff, but I still put him there. He seems to know about bays and things like that. And then next, these ones are the ones that are going to surprise you guys. We got Bell. I know I might be being biased for putting Bell this high, but he has a lot of creative strategies. He knows a lot. He made his bay on his own, and he helped make Ranzo make his bay. And he might have even helped Bastarol. Like, he knows how to work a 3D printer. And he's like 10, maybe 11. But he's a smart guy. Even he talks. Like, he has, like, pretty advanced language. And then we got next to him is Ilya Mao. She knows how to deceive people. Like, play mind games with them. You gotta be smart to do that. And, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's just what I'm saying. She's not smart enough to be any higher, but, it's smart enough. And then lastly, for the above average tier, is the last sword flame, Ukiokabuki. He's kind of like Ilya in a lot of ways. Like how he likes to mess with his opponent before the battle, but, he just gives me that. Maybe I should have put him in average. I don't know. I feel like he's a little smarter than Quan. But maybe that's just me. Alright, we are moving on to the third final tier. Now we have the brainy tier. Players that know how to use their brains and use them to do smart things. You guys can tell I'm obviously way below this tier by how I explained that. Anyway, let's get right into it. First up, we have Free De La Hoya. A great strategist. He knows what he's talking about. He may seem like the dumber guy, but he actually is smart. He strategizes. He invented the draining spin technique. And he just knows what he's doing. Like, everyone respects him. He gives advice, but it, seems really simple, but he knows what he's talking about. Alright, then next we got Raul. Raul's a crazy, wacky old man, but he knows what he's doing. He's smart. He builds. He's a smart guy. I don't think I need to really say much. We all know it. And then next, we got a guy who's really old, so let's do someone who's really young, and that would be Naru. Naru really made Achilles for Iger. She did, all the technical stuff, the hard work. She's often the one keeping Iger sane, so she's definitely smart, especially for how young she is. I think that's just important. And then after that, we have gotten Suo, the self-proclaimed Beyblade genius. He somehow put a rhino horn or elephant tusk, whatever it was, in his bay. And he chops up flowers smartly. And you can just tell by how he talks that he's a smart guy. Sorry guys, I don't think this fell in the background. But you'll be fine. Right? Anyway, let's move on to someone even smarter than Suo, which would be Kyle. I'm not the most popular blader, but he knows what he's doing. He takes data with his phone. He is a smart guy. I should have put him higher up in the tiers, I think. But oh well. He's here. He does stuff on his phone and gets the data of bays, and he knows how to do good strategies and things like that. So after Kyle, we have Hikaru. Hikaru Hisashi. He's like Naru. He makes sure to keep Hyuga knowing what he's doing. I don't know. We all know Hikaru's a great strategist. He's definitely the brains behind the team. I think we all know Hikaru's a pretty smart guy. He's not genius level, but he's pretty smart. So then after that, we have gotten Ashtem, or Theodore. This guy, he had this whole corporation underground and all that stuff. Pretty evil, pretty twisted of what he done. But, you can't blame him. He's pretty smart about it. So, after him, we have got Daigo Kurogami. I might have put this guy too high. I was debating between above average and brainy. But Daigo is almost up there with Shu. He's often the one bladers ask for advice. He knows all about the Beyblades. If you just watch the show, he knows. He just kind of knows everything. He's definitely the common sense guy on the team, besides Shu, probably. And then we got one more in the brainy tier, and that is going to Rick Sinclair. Like Daigo, he's kind of one of the voices of reason of BC Soul. When everyone is arguing and all that, Rick seems always stay calm. He's smart with his way with words, and I I just think he's a pretty brainy guy. Let's go on to the smart tier. We're finally taking it to the top. There's one more tier after this. Comment below what you think the name is. We only got 3 bladers in the smart tier, so let's get right into it. Okay, since I already kind of spoiled the first one, I kind of spoiled it because I said Daigo's almost as smart as Shu. We know Shu's here. Shu is smart. He's a smart guy. He is great at keeping calm. He always works his best to come up with new strategies. He can play with his eyes closed. He manages to play with a hurt shoulder. He will always find a way around his problems. He's good at keeping his team like calm. He always, he's just a smart guy. I think we know that. He's Shu. He's good at everything. Come on. Anyway, next we have Basra. He's kind of like Shu. He was like definitely the strategist of his team, and it was probably a smart decision to quit Bell's team for Rashad's team, honestly. And like Basra was like the, kind of the tablet guy who was always looking at base stats and that kind of thing. He was pretty smart in that sense. And then last one for the smart tier is Christina Kuroda, owning a business at the age of 16. Come on, she's a good leader. She knows how to, I'm sure she has to do a lot of paperwork and stuff because she owns a whole team. And, she's very calm and doesn't let things get to her too much. So, you have to be pretty smart to do that. Anyway, she seems smart. I should say more, but I can't really think of anything right now. Tell me what you guys think about that. Anyway, the final tier is called the Genius tier. And in the Genius tier, we have 4 bladers. I bet you guys probably know who at least 3 of them are. But let's go through to the first one. This is probably the one you wouldn't have guessed. Maybe you did, I don't know. And that would be Pax. He's a tech genius. He has all this computer stuff. I can't even explain it. I'm not smart enough to. But he he knows how to track elemental power within bays. He builds bays. He tracks statistics. I assume he built that gauntlet thing on his arm, if you guys saw him. He's very smart. Quadra looks up to him. She always asks him for help. He knows what strategies to use against bladers. He is definitely a genius. Next, let's go do Naoki. Obviously, this guy's he's a lab, computers, robots that he makes. He collects data. He has statistics. He's really the whole package. He is a little cocky, maybe a little too confident in his abilities, but he's really smart, obviously. I don't really think I need to say much for that. Then we got Evil Oxford. Same as Naoki pretty much, except he's definitely more calm. He does the statistics, he builds bays, he does all of it. He's a smart lab guy. And lastly, who I think the smartest blader would have to be is Gwyn. Gwyn is just a pure genius. He's like 10, and he is just a genius. He writes equations on walls like crazy. He may not be like a lab guy, but he is so smart, man. He does great in schools. In the manga, he actually is in college. He is a 10-year-old, right? That doesn't even make sense. He built his own bay. He just knows everything. You can just tell. He is a smart guy. Well, anyway, guys, I hope you like this. Don't get too mad if your favorite blader I put too low. Just comment below what you thought. And anyway, I hope you guys like this. I know it was long. Bye.